Act 1. Gilded Leash, Quiet Rebellion, aka killing on paper, saving in practice. Look, the glass castle steals the sunrise and then acts like it did us a favour. Meanwhile, Celaena Sardothian is in her room sharpening steel like she's tuning a piano. We start at a 10. King's Champion. Sounds cute, until you translate it to knife with an expense account. On paper, she kills whoever the king circles in red ink. In real life, she fakes bodies, fudges reports, and ferries dead traitors into new names. Don't ask me how many lies it takes to sleep at night. She's doing math with her soul. New assignment drops. Archer Finn. Courtesan. X. Liar with a jawline that thinks it's a thesis. The king says, erase him. Celaena says, 3 weeks and I'll bring you the mastermind. Archer agrees, like a chandelier personally endorses him. Sir, your decor with dialogue. Night falls, and the castle starts breathing. Secret corridors exhale cold. The clock tower hums like someone swallowed a thunderstorm and won't admit it. Down in the tomb, Gavin, Elena, stone royalty. And then a bronze skull door knocker blinks and says, Mort. He's got eternal hold music energy and a lore dump. Word marks, word keys, a word gate that should never open. Magic is banned. The architecture did not get CC'd. Daylight tries to help. It doesn't. Training becomes banter, becomes gravity. Kale brings her a birthday cake, because under the captain there's a golden retriever who learned knife safety. For one reckless heartbeat, she lets happiness sit down and eat frosting. Nehemia arrives with urgency for candles. The king's evil isn't a rumour. It's infrastructure. Keys, gates, conquest written into stone. They fight like sisters who refuse to lie to each other. It's love with sharp corners. Nehemia demands action. Celaena begs her to survive long enough to use it. And then, the world answers in blood. Celaena opens a door expecting her best friend and walks into a crime scene so precise it feels rehearsed. Silence arranged like furniture. Guards butchered. Nehemia gone. The floor drops. We all go with it. Kale knew there were threats and thought quiet would keep Celaena safe. Trust doesn't chip. It detonates. Congratulations, everyone. We're in hell. She hunts, finds Grave, Archer's associate, and turns the alley into an art exhibit titled, Try Me Again. Kale arrives just in time for her to turn the blades on him too, because grief is a terrible aim assist. And then the room snaps to winter. Frost crawls the air like a confession. Dorian's at the door with magic in his hands like, what did I just do? Congrats, Your Highness. You're a felony with a crown, and grounded. Archer leans in to whisper poison. The king planned to question Nehemia, and rebels are eating themselves. This stops being grief and becomes ignition. Anyway, storm warning issued. When the ice melts, she's gone. She leaves a corpse, a captain, and a prince who's shaking like the future just looked back. Trauma trio unlocked! Somewhere in the walls? A hum. Maybe wordgate, maybe grief. And the whole castle leans toward the storm. Fleetfoot trots in, sniffs the disaster and sighs like, again? Give that dog a raise. She's the only one meeting deadlines. Act 2. Keys, rings, and the door that bites back, aka lore dump, but the lore has teeth. Rifthold, but make it a hunting ground. Theatres, salons, polite rooms, she empties them of lies and leaves the air thinner than before. Mort keeps talking because he's stuck to the door and to our business. 3 word keys exist, the evil collectible kind. Collect them all, ruin the continent. Cool. Dorian is developing a weather problem. Goblets frost. Windows flower with ice. Temper becomes temperature. He decodes the clock tower. It's a magic suppressor wired into the city's bones. Meanwhile, those sleek black rings the worst people are wearing? Evil Bluetooth. Do not pair. Archer keeps requesting velvet lit conversations, like ambiance can print a conscience. He warns her about Kale. He stage manages a fake kidnapping to test her. She answers with a warehouse makeover in steel and regret. And he still thinks he's playing chess, while she's inventing new knives. I cannot. Back beneath the castle, math meets morning. Elena's carvings, plus Nehemia's notes, plus Maud's eternal attitude, equals coordinates. Where the key should be, empty. The king looted the twist early, which means he can choke magic, stitch monsters, and push open doors he can't even spell. Nehemia died trying to wedge that truth into Celaena's hands. Message received. Message branded. So, yeah, she opens the word gate anyway, because closure is addictive and we're all coping badly. She calls for Nehemia, and the universe sends a creature made of teeth and no refunds. Fleetfoot lunges, because she's a hero. Kale dives after, because he's a problem. Dorian arrives like a walking blizzard. Celaena kisses him goodnight via concussion, because not now, Your Highness. Then she dives through the wrongness alone. Her bones remember a different blueprint. Ears sharpen, balance tips feral. Grace turns into something that didn't need training. Not costume, inheritance. Fae, written into her bones from a life smothered in ash. Kale sees it, and his whole belief system faceplants down a staircase. She holds the monster off with a language her marrow remembers and slams the gate shut. After, the silence doesn't feel safe. It feels pressurized. Later, just a sliver. Carefully, she cracks the gate, and there's Nehemia, voice thin as moonlight. Remember who you are. Not Celaena the mask, Aelin the verdict. Don't look at me, I didn't ask to cry tonight. Upstairs, rot blossoms elegantly. Caltaine dreams of wings and wakes with smoke in her throat. Roland's pretty ring hums to the kings like they're on a family plan. Parrington smiles like an unlocked door. The clock tower keeps humming like a power plant fueled by dread, and no one calls maintenance. Classic. Dorian and Celaena descend into the tunnels and take down one of the king's stitched nightmares. Teamwork makes the Eldritch stop working. Is it victory? No, it's a memo. Hi, yes, hazard pay? When? Archer shows his real hand. He feeds her lies about Kale, about Nehemia, about everything. He thinks he's playing God with candlelight and half-truths. She's counting exits and good reasons to end a sentence with steel. The tower hums, the rings purr. The court pretends not to hear a thing. Somewhere between throne and tunnel, a new monster takes its first breath. Great. They're breeding dread like it's a cottage industry. Celaena sharpens a blade and a promise. The next door that opens, she decides who walks through. Fleetfoot sneezes at the dust. 3 warriors jump like fate just drew a sword. Hero duties now include morale, sneezes, and unionizing treats. Act 3. Knives, goodbyes, and the name that burns. AKA, exile by decree, coronation by truth. The note arrives folded. Smug. Inevitable. Archer has Kale. Of course he does. She reads once, pockets steel where fear used to live, and goes. Dorian bargains in shadows to get Kale out of Adolan before loyalty becomes an execution date. He smiles like compromise isn't killing him from the inside. We're all coping, okay? Beneath the clock tower, that humming throat of the city, the word gate vibrates like thunder doing scales. Archer's waiting with a knife and a monologue nobody asked for. He confesses. Nehemia left his rebel cell when freedom meant collateral, so he hired Grave, staged the martyrdom, and pointed blame at Kale to weaponize Celaena. Are you kidding me? The audacity! She smiles. Small, lethal, history-shaped. Then the gate rips open like the world forgot its stitches. A creature claws through and snatches Fleetfoot. Kale lunges without calculating odds because love is a math he refuses to fail. Dorian braces the gate this side. Celaena splits the world and dives. Inside tastes like iron and old fear. Her fey power wakes fully, light on steel, oath inside bone. The monster meets the fine print of legend and loses. She kills it. She closes the door. She keeps the dog. As for Archer, briefly. She puts a knife where his lies lived. He dies shocked that a woman's promise counts. Then the king summons her with a smile he thinks is a throne. Promotion, special mission to Wendelin. Exile with paperwork. Kale arranges it, truly believing he saved her. No, sweetie, you mailed a match to a dry forest. At the docks, salt wind, soft goodbyes that taste like old hope. Dorian says farewell, with winter still lingering in his breath. He's trying so hard to be kind in a kingdom that punishes it. Kale arrives with the sentence that costs the most. I love you. Timing is a clown. She presses the eye of Elena into his hand and whispers a date. The night Terrason burned. Meaningless to most, everything to anyone who remembers green and ash. The ship points east. The horizon unrolls. Rifthold shrinks. Danger doesn't. Long-distance relationship with destiny? What could go wrong? For the first time in years, she lets the wind say her real name and doesn't flinch. Back in the palace, research is the only oxygen that works. Eyes, bloodlines, Terrason green, gold-rimmed turquoise. The conspiracy board lights up, and for once, it's right. Oh no. Celaena Sardothian is Aelin Ashriver Galathinius. He didn't just save the woman he loves, he shipped the heir who can burn it all down. Is he terrified or proud? Yes. Welcome to your 3-book identity crisis. Rifthold holds still like a city listening for a footstep. Caltaine wakes with smoke in her throat and wings in her dreams. Perrington toys with a black ring, like a key to a door we should weld shut. If it hums, don't wear it. The clock tower keeps singing the king's stolen note, but the song's about to change keys. Across the sea, Wendelin's cliffs cut the horizon clean. The ship's wake writes a signature across the sea. Behind it, a prince learning winter. A captain learning faith. Men entering their growth arc era. Finally! Ahead, a girl with a crown-shaped problem and zero intention of hiding. So, yeah, she fakes royal murders, loses the one friend who called her Heir, opens the wrong door, reveals she's Fae, knifes a liar and sails away. Not as Celaena the survivor, but as Aelin, the problem and the promise. I am not okay. Don't look at me. If you're also coping via sarcasm and sword metaphors, welcome home. Like, subscribe and hydrate. Next stop, Heir of Fire. Bring tissues and sunscreen for all that character development. This has been a full LOL Lit Meltdown, unhinged by fiction, held together by vibes. See you in Wendelin. Mwah.